Back for more? Glad to have you. Leviticus chapter 10, verse 1. Now Nadab and Abihu, the sons of Aaron, took their respective fire pans, and after putting fire in them, placed incense on it, and offered strange fire before the Lord, which he had not commanded them. And fire came out from the presence of the Lord and consumed them, and they died before the Lord. Okay, the vessels in which the incense was burned in the holy place was to be used only for holy purposes. Though the exact infraction is not detailed, in some way they violated the prescription for offering incense, probably because they were drunk, which verses 8 and 9 will allude to in a minute. Instead of taking the incense fire from the brazen altar, they had some other source for the fire, and thus displayed carelessness, irreverence, and lack of consideration for God. Such a tendency had to be punished for all priests to see as a warning. And personally, I think this kind of stems back to what Aaron did at the golden calf incident, and is probably somewhat of a punishment for that as well. I don't know. That's my guess. Verse 3. Then Moses said to Aaron, "It is what the Lord spoke, saying, by those who come near me I will be treated as holy, and before all the people I will be honored." So Aaron therefore kept silent. Verse 4. Moses called to Mishael and Elzaphan, the sons of Aaron's uncle Uziel, and said to them, "Come forward, carry your relatives away from the front of the sanctuary to the outside of the camp." So they came forward and carried them, still in their tunics, to the outside of the camp, as Moses had said. Then Moses said to Aaron and to his sons Eleazar and Ithamar, "Do not uncover your heads, nor tear your clothes, so that you will not die, and that he will not become wrathful against all the congregation. But your kinsmen, the whole house of Israel, shall bewail," which means to express regret. So shall bewail the burning which the Lord has brought about. Verse 7. You shall not even go out from the doorway of the tent of meeting, or you will die, for the Lord's anointing oil is upon you. So they did according to the word of Moses. The Lord then spoke to Aaron, saying, "Do not drink wine or strong drink, neither you nor your sons with you, when you come into the tent of meeting, so that you will not die. It is a perpetual statute throughout your generations, and so as to make a distinction between the holy and the profane, and between the unclean and the clean, and so as to teach the sons of Israel all the statutes which the Lord has spoken to them through Moses." The prohibition against wine and other fermented drink was probably aimed at keeping their minds clear to fulfill their priestly duty of distinguishing between the holy and profane, and between the unclean and clean. They had to be prepared to teach the Israelites the rules revealed from God through Moses, as well as to make decisions about difficult cases for the people. Verse 12. Then Moses spoke to Aaron and to his surviving sons, Eleazar and Ithamar. "Take the grain offering that is left over from the Lord's offering by fire, and eat it unleavened beside the altar, for it is most holy. You shall eat it, moreover, in a holy place, because it is your due and your son's due out of the Lord's offering by fire, for thus I have been commanded. The breast of the wave offering, however, and the thigh of the offering you may eat in a clean place, you and your sons and your daughters with you, for they have been given as your due and your sons' due out of the sacrifices of the peace offerings of the sons of Israel." Verse 15. The thigh offered by lifting up and the breast offered by waving, they shall bring along with the offerings by fire of the portions of fat, to present as a wave offering before the Lord. So it shall be a thing perpetually, do you and your sons with you, just as the Lord has commanded. But Moses searched carefully for the goat of the sin offering, and behold, it had been burned up. So he was angry with Aaron's surviving sons Eleazar and Ithamar, saying, "Why did you not eat the sin offering at the holy place? For it is most holy, and he gave it to you to bear away the guilt of the congregation, to make atonement for them before the Lord. But since its blood had not been brought inside into the sanctuary, you should certainly have eaten it in the sanctuary, just as I commanded." But Aaron spoke to Moses, "Behold, this very day they presented their sin offering and their burnt offering before the Lord. when things like these happened to me, if I had eaten a sin offering today, would it have been good in the sight of the Lord?" When Moses heard that, it seemed good in his sight. Aaron's explanation for his son's behavior seems to be linked to the tragedy of Nadab and Abihu. Aaron's question as to the Lord being pleased if he ate the sin offering either had to do with the genuine fear of eating what was most holy in the wake of his son's deaths, or he was confused by grief and inadvertently mishandled the sacrificial procedure. Either way, Moses was satisfied with his answer. Kind of a sadder chapter today, but hey, when we choose to go against the Lord, there are consequences. So there is tragedy in this world, and that's why Jesus came to offer new life for us, and we need to listen and pay attention. Okay, guys, thanks so much. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. God bless you.